The night held its quiet. Beyond the window, the city exhaled in gentle rhythms, streetlights standing like vigilant stars, distant engines murmuring. Within a modest apartment, a woman remained at her table, encircled by sealed bills. She ran her fingertips along the envelopes as though a soft touch might melt what they contained. She breathed, "If I could only have more money." Yet the plea sank like pebbles into a mute lake, no movement, no reply at all. She was unaware that she was addressing the universe in its native tongue vibration. Each utterance functions as a decree, and each mental image is a seed planted in the boundless ground of divine substance. We have all stood in her place, pursuing the shadow of wealth, pleading with paper tokens for rescue. Still, Florence Scovel Shinn reminds us, your word is your wand. A wand does not pursue, it directs. Moved by faith, it issues command, and unseen forces respond in compliance. Money is not merely printed matter. It is sacred energy briefly embodied in form before flowing onward like sunlight gliding across water. To hold a coin is to touch concentrated light spirit in movement representing ceaseless circulation. Envision money as luminous gold fluid, living and attentive. It advances eagerly where it is greeted with love and recedes the instant it encounters fear. Desperation obstructs its passage while trust and faith unbar the gate. Sitting at the table, she exhales and says, "I never have enough." The universe, both benevolent and exact, replies, "Very well, you never have enough." This is because divine law does not evaluate or condemn, it simply reflects. Yet imagine she adopts a new vocabulary. Money is divine energy. It loves to serve me. I am supplied with ease and grace. With that, the golden stream quickens, avenues unblock, and provision begins to move. Florence declared, "You do not work for money. Money works for you." Money stands as a servant awaiting clear direction. Address it respectfully as you would a loyal companion, because energy answers primarily to your tone, even more than to your vocabulary. Money has forever acted as a mirror rather than a jailer. It echoes what you declare and can rise no higher than your conviction permits. The atmosphere itself vibrates with unshaped supply poised for the authority of your instruction. Stop for a moment. Inhale deliberately. Sense the space around you trembling with potential. Money is sacred energy, not mere paper. Allow this understanding to pass through you the way light streams through an open pane. The pursuit ceases. Anxiety eases. You recognize that scarcity never defined you, only unawareness did. Florence's divine decrees were never mere optimism. They describe cosmic law, exact, benevolent, and constant. Whenever you affirm plenty, you are not petitioning. You are recalling what is true. Money attends to vibration, like a harp responds to a finger gratitude, elicits music, while fear mutes the tone. Now speak softly. Money is divine energy forever circulating in my world. It comes in perfect ways for perfect uses through perfect channels. And so it is. In every life, a threshold appears when the world's reflective surface fractures, revealing the undying light beyond it. This realization does not arrive by lectures or volumes, but in quiet a hush in which your breath becomes audible, and you recognize, I am the wellspring, not the wanderer. You rise one day and understand that you hunted outside toward employment relationships and fortune for a treasure that never left your inner ground. Each good you chased already burns softly within your chest, like radiance just under the skin. Florence said man's supply is inexhaustible, for he draws it from within. When you recognize your identity as divine substance itself, pleading gives way to rightful direction. You quit seeking approval to thrive and begin speaking with the calm authority of one who already possesses. Gently close your eyes. Picture yourself within an immense expanse of gentle golden luminosity. The radiance is not merely surrounding you, it is your very essence. It streams outward from your heart, gilding whatever it encounters. You are no longer pursuing abundance, you are its source and shining expression. Speak inwardly, I am not searching for wealth. I am wealth revealed. I am not seeking supply. I am divine substance expressing. I am the fountain, not the cup. Notice the resonance changing. These statements are not mere desires. They are recollections of truth reawakened. Florence taught that nothing can come into your life you do not speak into existence. When you claim deficiency as your identity, the law recreates it. When you align with the divine, the reflection returned is plentifulness. There was a woman Clara employed in a print shop. Despite persistent effort, her pay seemed to evaporate. One night, a friend offered her the game of life and how to play it. When she encountered the line, "Man is a spiritual being, and his supply is inexhaustible," a movement awakened within. Before resting, she murmured, "I am divine substance. Money is drawn to me through peace." Several weeks on, her circumstances changed. A former customer reappeared, her commissions multiplied, and an offer of partnership arrived. Yet beyond income, Clara discovered a new bearing. Her shoulders rose, her eyes shone. She had moved from chasing to originating, from seeker to source. You likewise stand before such a passage. The external world murmurs worn-out doubts. You lack its difficult, but those are only dream echoes. The moment you declare, "I am divine substance," creation reorders itself to reflect your directive. Draw a slow breath. Sense spirit shaping itself as form. With every inhalation, you proclaim oneness with Source. With every exhalation, you let go of unreality. Now imagine standing before a luminous mirror. A brilliant self gazes back serene, assured, haloed with gold. Currents of prosperity do not move to you. They stream outward from you. The reflection and the viewer blend until separation dissolves, leaving only you as the embodied portrait of limitless supply. Speak gently, "I am not searching for wealth. I am wealth revealed." An older wisdom stirs inside you, a knowledge preceding fear. It murmurs, "I have always been enough." Move through your days with this consciousness, and entryways open beyond explanation. The right people arrive, insights reveal themselves, and funds circulate because tranquility magnetizes what struggle drives away. Gratitude rises of its own accord. Sunlight, water, and breath make you feel immeasurably wealthy. Riches are not merely possessions, they are your nature. Allow this understanding to take firm root. I am divine substance. I command wealth and peace. Say it with unhurried reverence until it reverberates through every cell. This is more than affirmation, it is identity embraced. When you stand up again, appearances may seem unchanged, yet the atmosphere gleams with potential. You will understand that each meeting and so-called accident is summoned by the tone you emit. You will stop declaring, "I need more." Instead, you will affirm, "All that I require flows to me in divine order." You will cease asking, "Can I afford it?" and pronounce, "I am provided for in perfect ways." And creation, precise and loyal to law, will respond, "It is so." Pause here and speak out. I am divine substance. I command wealth and peace. After a true declaration, a holy quiet unfolds, a resonance that continues in the unseen. While the physical ear detects stillness, the cosmos has already started molding the formless into visibility, responding to your command. Florence Scovel Shinn named this principle the law of the word. It is ancient and elegantly simple. Each sound becomes a seed placed in the earth of divine substance. Some are planted with fear, others with trust, yet each must sprout. The universe neither condemns nor favors, it reflects. Many speak unconsciously, unaware that their sentences draft the next day. They utter, "I can't afford that," or "money never stays with me," and the law, precise and unbiased, carries out the instruction. Consider a brief account. A shopkeeper called Elias managed a modest store, resourceful and hardworking, but beset by reversals. Deliveries arrived, damaged customers disappeared, and one morning, after yet another mishap, he exclaimed, "This business is cursed." His declaration boomed, and the law complied. Trouble increased. In desperation, he sought counsel from an elder wise woman. She inquired, "What words do you speak each day about your work?" He answered, "Only the truth that it's failing." She smiled and said, "Then you speak your failure into form. Speak your faith, and the tide will turn." From then on, Elias started each morning with the decree, "Every word I speak prospers me. My shop is a channel of divine supply. All that I sell blesses others and blesses me." Initially, it sounded empty to him, but quickly his voice grew sincere. Patrons came back, and prospects emerged. In a few months, he prospered. When questioned about the shift, he replied plainly, "My words did." Florence wrote, "Every word builds or breaks your world. Language carves fate. Each statement constructs a dwelling or raises a cell." The separation between ordinary chatter and deliberate decree lies in intention. Habitual talk repeats patterns. Intentional speech brings new reality forth. When issuing a decree, you do not petition, you direct calmly and with sacred authority. Your language is not apart from the infinite. It is the infinite giving voice through you. Picture every word as a spark that draws substance into shape. "I am prosperous" assembles matching form. "I can't win" attracts confirming evidence. What you speak becomes governing law in your experience. Florence said, "The game of life is a game of boomerangs. Your utterances, actions, and ideas come back with exactness. This is not revenge, it is accuracy. Reality moves by a just and measured order." Pause again. Sense your voice as sacred electricity, a generative current traveling through you. As it crosses your lips, new configurations start forming. You are not merely addressing the universe, you are voicing it. In the quiet that follows a decree, elements fall into alignment. Individuals' openings and timing reconfigure to complete your word. Though your eyes may not register it immediately, the mechanism engages at once. The divine does not stall, only our seeing lags. Allow this principle to rest within your word does not come back empty. It accomplishes the objective it carries. Consider language as seeds placed in universal earth. Soil never interrogates the kernel, it simply nurtures it. Plant an acorn and an oak results. Voice fear and hardship sprouts. Voice faith and the extraordinary unfolds. Become a deliberate cultivator. Tend your vocabulary as consecrated instruments. Ask, does this sentence construct or dismantle? Does it affirm vitality or scarcity? Every morning before the day's clamor arises, claim a still moment and declare, "Every word I speak prospers me." Every decree manifests in perfect ways. My words are divine commands drawing only good. Sense the vibration not as rote recital, but as memory returning. By governing your speech, you take the helm of your fate. Now picture the pure note of a bell moving through space. It does not plead or pursue, it merely sounds, and the environment conforms to its pitch. Your decrees act the same way. Your language establishes the key of your life. Speak in concord, and your world tunes itself accordingly. Florence said, "Your word is your wand. Wield it skillfully, and the invisible responds with obedience. Declare it now. Every word I speak prospers me. Under every manifestation flows a luminous stream, the law of specificity. Reality is boundless, yet precise. It answers to definition, not to haze. Indistinct language yields indistinct outcomes." Florence instructed, "You must state clearly what you desire, and in perfect faith know that it is done. Requesting something good is like telling the ocean whatever comes. But affirming I receive $5,000 in perfect ways for perfect purposes produces an exact plan for substance to follow. Picture creation as a symphony waiting for your signal. If you hum without guidance, the tune dissolves. Lift your baton with certainty, and each instrument synchronizes. Your decrees work likewise. Precise language generates precise manifestation. Uncertainty does not punish us. It simply reflects back. Reality listens in the measure we speak. If our declarations wobble, results do too. Florence told her students, never use "I want" or "I hope." Speak only "I have," "I receive," "it is done," for the subconscious obeys finality. An illustration: David, a young painter, filled canvases with brightness but dwelt in shortage. Daily he lamented, "I just need more money." Consequently, he received more needing and more delay. One night, browsing a small bookshop, he discovered Florence's instruction. Be definite in your demands. Declare your good clearly, and the law of supply will hasten to fulfill it. That same night, he composed, "I receive $5,000 easily, quickly, and under grace for the expansion of my art and the blessing of others. This, or something better, manifests now." He repeated it at dawn and dusk, not in tension, but with calm anticipation. A fortnight went by without sign. In the third week, a letter came. A collector proposed purchasing several works for $5,200. David trembled as he read, not from doubt, but from knowing. This was not accident. It was principle. He had supplied a definite pattern, and the universe complied. Specificity equals exactness, and exactness carries authority. Each decree projects an image into creative ether, a template that organizes matter. Clear images congeal quickly, indistinct ones dissipate. Therefore, choose clarity. Speak with fidelity. Keep your statements precise, your demeanor calm, and your trust unwavering. Reality is perpetually attentive, ready for a well-defined directive. Affirm at this moment, my words are divine seeds. I speak only life, clarity, and abundance. My decrees are fulfilled in perfect ways under grace. And so it is. You would never enter a restaurant and say, "Bring me something." You would specify the meal, the beverage, even the manner of serving. Still, in addressing the infinite, we often murmur, "Just bless me," as if the sacred must guess. Dear one, you are not ruled by luck. You are a designer of manifestation. The infinite awaits precise guidance voiced through you. Stop and consider. What precise good do you mean? Not a hazy outline, but its concrete shape. How would it appear? How would it feel? And by what sign would you recognize its arrival? Now envision a golden scroll unfurled before you. You are invited to inscribe your decree upon it. Breathe, and in your inner sight, write these words, "I receive." specific desire in perfect ways through perfect channels under grace and in divine right timing. Watch the sentence illuminate as you inscribe it, each character vibrant with power. Notice the authority; it bears no pleading, only loving command. You are not wishing for a chance, you are proclaiming what must be. Florence would reassure us that clarity in asking is welcomed by divine mind. She would say, never think you are asking too much of God. You are only asking in proportion to your faith. Infinite supply cannot run out. In that realm, there is no big or small, only resonance and agreement. Precision serves as the bridge linking belief with embodiment. It molds unseen energy into tangible appearance. Let us revisit David. Following his initial demonstration, he applied the rule across his life. When searching for a studio, he did not say, "I want a better place." He wrote, "I receive a bright, peaceful studio with tall windows, affordable rent, and near the park, under grace, and in perfect timing." In less than 2 months, that precise space appeared surpassing what planning alone could have engineered. Whenever he spoke with exactness, outcomes arrived by paths he would not have imagined. This reflects the law's second part: you state the outcome while the divine arranges the method. You need not manage the how. You establish intention in love and then let it go. Clear decrees make you magnetic. The surrounding field organizes into coherence. Individuals, conditions, and timings move toward you with orchestrated exactness. This is the hidden choreography of divine order at work. Now breathe slowly and let the lesson root. Indistinct intention yields indistinct results. Yet when you affirm, "My good is specific ordered, and mine now," you provide substance with structure, give contour to light, and speak directive into disorder. Allow your language to act like art. Illustrate your prosperity with sharp detail. Experience the fullness of your aims as already realized, because in divine mind, they are complete. Whisper again now, "I give thanks that my decree is set clear and perfect. All channels open in harmony, and my good appears now." You can feel the space change, can't you? The faint vibration in your chest, the gentle widening under your ribs, that is the decree settling into place. In Florence's words, a man can only receive what he sees himself receiving. Therefore, refine your inner picture. Put it to paper voice, visualize it, and bless it. Creation answers readily to a lucid directive uttered with faith. Now, dear listener, pick up a pen or open your inner chamber and draft your decree. Specify the amount, the reason, and the intention. Whether monetary, relational, or spiritual, let it be exact. Then say aloud, "My decree is set." Because once your decree is inscribed, it commences its passage through the invisible. Law goes into motion, pathways open, and your word taking form comes forth to meet you. Compose your decree now. Be exact, include amount, purpose, and timing. Comment below. My decree is set. There exists a holy frequency that surpasses hope, outpaces belief, and outstrips toil and strength. This elevating current is gratitude. Gratitude functions like unseen lightning, spanning the gap between the invisible and the visible. It is the sacred indicator that informs the universe, I already possess what I have named. Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, "Bless what you have, and you will be blessed indeed." She grasped that gratitude is not a mere response, it is generative power. Offering thanks in advance lifts you out of human scheduling into divine arrangement. You speak as someone aware that the desired thing has already been completed in the unseen. A mind without discipline petitions out of lack, pleading, "Please bring it to me." The awakened soul prays from thanksgiving, declaring thank you that it is already done. Gratitude is a kind of emotional alchemy. It refines the dull metal of yearning into the bright gold of realization. It transforms delay into arrival and converts strain into effortless flow. Let us move softly into a brief tale that embodies this principle. A man named Samuel had wrestled for years to secure consistent employment. Day after day, his thoughts tilted toward fear, and his words carried concern. He repeated, "No one is hiring, and I can't seem to catch a break." Consequently, the universe ever exact mirrored back precisely what he proclaimed. One afternoon, a friend brought him to an intimate spiritual circle studying Florence's lessons. In that space, he heard the phrase, "Give thanks before you see it, for that is faith in motion." A movement awakened inside him. That evening, just before rest, he murmured, "Thank you, Divine Mind, that my perfect position is already mine. Thank you for divine compensation. Thank you that my path is prepared." He spoke gently without pressure, resting in calm. The method remained unknown to him, but the outcome felt certain. Over the following 2 weeks, he maintained this gratitude practice at dawn and at night. He blessed each circumstance, including the arriving invoices. Holding each envelope, he would affirm, "Thank you for, you remind me that I am trusted with circulation." Before long, a phone call arrived. An acquaintance recalled Samuel's abilities and extended an offer precisely aligned with his gifts. It was the very role he had long wanted, bringing freedom, regard, and compensation beyond what he had imagined. When people inquired what shifted, Samuel smiled and answered my words, "My heart, my gratitude." Understand, this gratitude unlatches gates that sheer effort leaves barred. Thanking beforehand announces to the cosmos that the outcome is already decided. Since divine law aligns with conviction, the invisible hastens to reveal itself as form. Florence frequently reminded her students, praise opens the gates. Complaint closes them. When you praise the good already in hand, even a tiny coin, or the barest chance you increase its appearance. When you bless the very ground, you stand on it blossoms with further reasons to bless. Stop for a moment. Draw a long, unhurried breath. Sense your heart widen like a rising sun. Murmur softly, "Thank you that it is done." Speak it once more. "Thank you that it is done." Allow the words to descend through you like a tender rainfall. Every syllable bears the weight of faith. You are not in suspense, you are opening the door. You are not pleading, you are recalling what already belongs to you. Florence said, "When man blesses or gives thanks for what he has, he invariably increases it." Gratitude is not a figure of speech, it is lawful function. It tunes your frequency to completion. Reality reflects your inner condition, resonate with scarcity, and more scarcity returns. Resonate with gratitude and fulfillment arrives. The feeling of gratitude equates to possessing. By giving thanks, you enter the timeline where the outcome is accomplished already. Picture yourself beneath a shower of golden droplets, each one warm and luminous, love, provision, vitality, and peace. Raising your hands in thanks, you watch them multiply as you declare, "Thank you that I live in abundance. Thank you that I am guided and supported. Thank you that all things work together for my good." Gratitude quickens the pace of manifestation. The energetic field surrounding you vibrates at a higher pitch, drawing events together toward completion. A student once questioned Florence, "What if I see nothing to be grateful for?" She answered, "Then give thanks for the invisible good preparing itself. Praise before it appears, and it will rush into sight." Gratitude is not a response to evidence, it is the very force that brings evidence forth. With each new morning, offer a blessing upon your day. Thank you for this perfect day. Thank you for divine favor and increase. That current of intention precedes you, the way dawn glow precedes sunrise. Gratitude loosens inner rigidity. Anxiety tightens its grip, while gratitude gently unfastens it. Even stalled desires begin moving when you rest into thanksgiving. You come to see that each seeming detour was divine choreography, and each delay a training ground. In this way, gratitude transforms hindsight into understanding and clear revelation. Now close your eyes. Select a single desire, an amount of money, a reconciled relationship, or a fresh dwelling. Envision it completed already. Inhale calmly and speak. Thank you that it is done. Repeat it until conviction settles into your chest. The gentle joy that begins to rise is creation in motion at this very moment. The invisible realm aligns itself with your decree. Agents of provision move into place. Moments and people arrange themselves toward fulfillment. Florence taught that gratitude functions like a magnet without its manifestation, proceeds slowly and haltingly. With it, results accelerate and lift. Bless what has been, what is, and what is still to come. Bless the funds that arrive and the funds that circulate. Bless the helpers you cannot yet see. Most of all, bless your own being, the conduit through which every good must travel. I give thanks for my ever-increasing good. Abundance is mine now. Thank you that it is done. Sense light encircle you. Fear loosens and fades. You stop straining and begin allowing. Thanksgiving softens opposition within and releases the river of movement and flow. There exists an hour so consecrated that even angels seem to pause the narrow threshold bridging night and day. Florence Scovel Shinn named it the morning gateway, the interval when heaven inclines itself to attend to human speech. At first light, the subconscious stands receptive and soft. Whatever you utter, then imprints itself quickly upon the unfolding day. The ancients rose early, not merely to salute the sun, but to fashion their fate. The day's initial sentences establish the tone and frequency for everything that comes afterward. Picture yourself at daybreak, the heavens tinged pale gold, the air muted with expectancy. You take a seat near the window, breathing in silence. You are doing more than welcoming morning. You are conversing with the infinite. Your phrases become keys capable of unlocking the gates of good. Florence said, "Make your affirmations early before the world has spoken to you. When your voice leads, your decree assumes authority over the unfolding hours. Start with breath. Imagine drawing light through the heart, then exhale gently 3 times. Murmur, 'This is the sacred hour.' Heaven listens closely. Then articulate slowly and with care, 'I am one with divine mind. My path is blessed, my supply secure. Every word I speak builds beauty, peace, and prosperity. I walk in grace, and all doors open before me. Attend to the quiet that follows. The silence vibrates with activity, the law at work." Florence instructed, "Speak the word and then rest. Know that it is done." Morning declarations are not casual wishes, but expressions of rightful authority. When you pronounce them with composed certainty, the day is obliged to conform. In that stance, you act as cause rather than consequence. A woman named Ruth made a habit of rising before sunrise each day. She softly affirmed, "Divine order governs my day. I am provided for in perfect ways." Initially, the practice simply soothed her. Afterwards, small wonders appeared, favorable messages, timely assistance, and work that unfolded smoothly. On days she omitted the ritual, life felt weightier. One morning, as the sun warmed her face, she said, "It is done," sensing the universe halt to attend. Tears rose not out of need, but from recognition. She had aligned with divine cadence. From that day forward, she refused to start a morning without spoken decree. Florence's students would append the phrase, "under grace and in perfect ways." Use it at daybreak. It brings your intention into accord with divine intention. Good arrives by harmony, not by strain. Say softly, "All that concerns me is now in divine order, under grace and in perfect ways." A wave of peace follows that felt calm functions as evidence that alignment has been made. The early hours amplify gratitude many times over. Before reaching for your phone or replaying yesterday, bless the present moment. Speak quietly. Thank you for this new day of divine opportunities, perfect health, and perfect timing. In metaphysical understanding, timing is consequential. The earliest hours, roughly 4 to 7, are those in which awareness is most yielding. The subconscious is like rich soil. Seeds sown, then sprout quickly. Florence referred to this window as the angel's hour. In such quiet, celestial assistance awaits your instruction. Therefore, upon waking, resist haste. Sit in stillness. If you prefer, light a candle. After that, speak with both affection and rightful authority. This day unfolds in divine order. I am at peace, and everything I need comes easily. Voice it a single time with surety. Then proceed through your activities, trusting that heaven has already responded. The morning gateway is more than a clock hour. It is a condition, a frequency of surrender and communion. You may step into it at any moment by pausing and breathing, though dawn provides the most natural entrance. When you gain mastery over morning, you gain mastery over your circumstances. The day then unwinds as declared, smoothly and with plenty. By nightfall, you will recognize how each episode traced back to that initial word you spoke. Florence would say, "The early hours belong to those who know the law." Tomorrow at first light, address the divine before addressing the world. Breathe your decree into quiet confidence that heaven listens most closely when your heart is composed. Then step back into your day and observe what has shifted even subtly. Prosperity travels by 4 principal rivers to the person who directs it in faith. Florence Scovel Shinn named these streams disguised opportunities, messenger people, hidden resources, and multiplied blessings. To the untrained perception, they look like accidents of chance. To a consciousness schooled in divine order, they are the clear footprints left by an unseen source. When you issue a decree for your good, I now call forth my divine supply. In perfect ways, the universe initiates a reconfiguration. The particles of circumstance, the inclinations of people, and the cadence of time itself lean toward the statement you have made. Though your eyes may not yet detect it, the underlying currents have already begun to shift. Prosperity frequently appears dressed as ordinary effort. It seldom shows up draped in opulence. It appears as a modest request, a practical assignment, or an unforeseen idea. The unpracticed mind dismisses it as trivial. The awakened mind recognizes, this may be the shape my blessing has selected for today. A woman once prayed for financial release. She pictured swift funds, an inheritance, or an unexpected present. Instead, a neighbor requested help cataloging aged books stored in an attic. She consented, though reluctantly. Amid the dusty shelves, she found a rare first edition valued beyond her month's income. More importantly, she met a collector who eventually became her partner in business. What initially looked like a nuisance turned out to be divine intelligence, swinging open a golden gate. Florence taught nothing stands between man and his highest good but mental resistance. The opening existed all along, only mental haze obscured its radiance. Whenever an invitation arrives, an idea lands, or a small door cracks open, pause for a breath. Affirm inwardly. Divine order reveals my disguised opportunity now. Observe how the commonplace shifts into the extraordinary before your eyes. Reflection. Each answered prayer tends to arrive cloaked at first. It examines your capacity to recognize good when it takes an unfamiliar shape. Do not turn away from what looks minor or odd. It may be the angel of increase wearing borrowed garments. The second stream of provision comes to you on two legs. Abundance prefers to travel by way of human hands. Florence frequently taught God works through people, and all that is mine is drawn to me through perfect channels of expression. Messenger people show up precisely when your decree needs a bearer. They might be a stranger you meet in a cafe, a phone call you're tempted to overlook, or a suggestion from a friend that opens your road. They come in divine timing, often unaware of their function, yet they are led with flawless precision. A young artist declared each day, "My right work and right compensation now appear." Several weeks went by in quiet. One afternoon, she assisted an elderly woman with bags of groceries. That woman's nephew ran a design studio and was seeking new talent. In a matter of days, the artist was employed, satisfied in her role, and properly paid. The messenger reached her through a simple act of kindness. These messengers are bridges rather than the fountainhead. Do not exalt the carrier. Divine substance remains the true giver. Yet treat them with honor, for they are evidence that your decree was released and has returned bearing results. Affirm, perfect messenger. People are guided to me now, bringing gifts from the infinite. Walk through your hours, attentive. Any smile, comment, or casual exchange may be part of divine choreography carrying out your decree. The third river consists of treasure already near your hand, although you have not recognized it yet. Concealed resources rest under stale assumptions, overlooked skills, sleeping connections, unclaimed value. Florence wrote, "Man's supply is inexhaustible and immediate when he finds it within." When you proclaim supply, divine illumination reveals what has been yours all along. A teacher once affirmed, "I now receive unexpected income in perfect ways." A few days later, while tidying a drawer, she uncovered uncashed royalty checks from a book she had let slip from memory. Her decree had directed the light inward to reveal what was waiting. Hidden resources are not only tangible, they include inner guidance insights that conserve time or ignite prosperity. Affirm, every hidden resource is illuminated now. I see with divine eyes and act with divine timing. Proceed as though your life were holy terrain. Any drawer, thought, or relationship may turn out to be gold in costume. The universe delights in surprising those who hold faith. The fourth and final stream is multiplication, the subtle enlargement that happens when gratitude, faith, and rightful stewardship come together. Florence referred to this as the miracle of increase. A woman consistently tithed from modest earnings, affirming, "Every dollar I give blesses and multiplies." Not long after, her employer doubled her pay, remarking, "You bring such good energy." She smiled, recognizing that divine arithmetic had responded. Increase starts with appreciation. Whatever you bless will expand. Whatever you resent tends to shrink. Bless your money, your dwelling, your food, and your labor, and you set expansion into motion. Affirm everything I touch multiplies in divine proportion. My good expands under grace. Even a tiny seed of thanksgiving yields a crop. The principle is straightforward. Universal substance responds to joyful acknowledgement. Disguised opportunities, messenger people, hidden resources, multiplied blessings. These are 4 distinct notes in the grand symphony of divine provision. When you decree prosperity, the orchestra begins its performance, each channel interlacing invisible arrangements until your spoken word appears as form. You might perceive one stream more vividly than the others, new doors swinging open, timely people showing up, unremembered funds emerging or existing good enlarging. Every sign indicates that divine order is active and attentive. Take a breath and affirm. My supply flows through many channels, but it comes from one source. That source is infinite intelligence expressing itself through everyday scenes. Should one doorway shut, bless it, the river merely finds a new course. Practice being a quiet witness to how the divine delivers. Write down every good that appears. Mark whether it arrived as an opportunity in disguise, as a messenger person, as a hidden resource, or as multiplication. Keeping such notes teaches your subconscious to recognize order rather than disorder, abundance rather than scarcity. When the day concludes, offer thanks. I am surrounded by divine supply in all directions. Every channel is open, every path is free. Next, voice this decree with unwavering conviction. Infinite intelligence now opens the 4 channels of my supply. Disguised opportunities reveal themselves in perfect time. Messenger people are guided to assist me. Hidden resources rise into view. My blessings multiply without limit. I walk in divine order, surrounded by endless provision. Sense the universe quiver and reorganize itself around your decree. Understand that your word functions as law already carried out. Joy carries the frequency of prayers already fulfilled. It is the tonal signature that signals completion before the evidence appears. Joy is the unseen hallmark of wealth. Florence taught that joy maintained over time is faith brought to maturity. It declares, I already possess my good, even if my physical sight has not yet witnessed it. Your emotional state functions like a tuning fork. Fear summons postponement. Doubt summons muddle. Joy, clear golden joy, summons generosity and effortless movement. Start your morning emitting that note, and the external world entrains to it. A space appears. A client replies, a knot loosens. Reality is orchestral, and your feelings serve as the conductor's baton. Prosperity is not something you plead for, it is a frequency you match. When your heart sings in the key of abundance, circumstances align themselves accordingly. Picture yourself cloaked in warm, golden radiance, every footfall, silently affirming, all is well, all unfolds perfectly. Others feel it even before you speak. Hindrances soften and part. Joy becomes the climate around you. You cease to chase wealth and instead become its living expression. Affirm within yourself, I expect miracles. I rejoice in advance. Joy is not a pasted-on smile. It is the steady exhilaration of trust. As Florence wrote, gratitude and joy accelerate the process. Depression and fear delay it. Expectation is the span that connects invisible cause with visible effect. To expect the good is to issue a lawful command. To indulge doubt is to rescind the instruction you already gave. One man declared, my right work now appears, yet he woke each morning anxious, scanning for evidence. His statement was correct, but his feelings argued against it. When he exchanged worry for quiet excitement, an offer arrived within a week. Florence said, faith knows it has already received. The state of joyful expectancy is precisely that inner knowing. Affirm everything I desire is on its way. I meet it with gladness and calm expectancy. Guard that feeling as one protects a flame shielded, unwavering, and bright. Prayer is more than sentences, it is the mood you carry. Each smile, each grateful inhale, each moment of patience contributes to your decree. When worry rises, turn softly and declare, I choose joy. I remember divine order. Murmur throughout your day the following steadying lines, I expect miracles. I rejoice in advance. I am a magnet for divine prosperity. Every moment brings good news. Speak them with cadence and genuine feeling, for the subconscious responds more readily to emotion than to mere repetition. A woman desired to open a studio. She affirmed, the perfect space appears under grace. After months with no visible movement, she let go of strain. One morning, played music, danced and laughed, repeating, I rejoice in advance. My studio is already mine. Later that day, a friend phoned an ideal studio had become available at below market rent in the very area she loved. It was her joy, not her effort, that turned the key. Joy serves as protection as well. Fear constricts and hardens. Joy opens and lifts. It keeps you buoyant and steady when outcomes are not yet visible. Declare, I am wrapped in the joy of divine certainty. Nothing can disturb my calm expectation. Each morning before you reach for a device, rest your hand upon your heart and center yourself. Something wonderful is on its way to me today. Offer a simple, unprompted smile. That small act carries magnetic power. When joy settles in as your baseline tone, prosperity is drawn near. Minor marvels come initially, a rebate, a kind word, uncanny timing, and larger demonstrations soon follow them. You move from pursuit to welcome, from pleading to clear proclamation. As Florence observed, man's word is his wand, but his joy is the spark. Keep the wand in an easy grip, keep the spark bright, and declare again with warmth and certainty, I expect miracles. I rejoice in advance. I am aligned with divine joy and every form of wealth it brings. Every form of treasure needs watchful stewardship. What is received by faith can only be preserved by that same faith. Florence referred to this posture as standing on the law. Ultimately, it is not currency you protect. It is the state of consciousness that produced it. When fear leans in to murmur, do not engage in struggle. Respond instead with a clear declaration. Fear has no power. My prosperity is divinely protected and eternally expanding. With every repetition of that decree, you reinforce the luminous stronghold that surrounds your good and keep it secure. Picture yourself as a shining golden stronghold, elevated far above the weather of the world. Its walls gleam with sacred light, unyielding yet kind, invulnerable yet serene. Any fear that comes near evaporates within this radiance before it can lay a hand on you. This is not fantasy used to flee reality. It is directed imagination used to lead. You are issuing instruction to the subconscious that only harmony, order, and good may pass into your sphere. Draw a deliberate, unhurried breath and let your body register the pace. Sense a wave of golden luminosity lifting from the earth and encircling you, streaming upward and outward like warm, fluid sunlight. Now speak out loud, giving your voice gentle authority. I am a golden citadel. No fear, no lack, no negativity may enter. My prosperity is safe in divine hands. Notice the soft release through your body. Your mind grows quiet and composed. That inner stillness itself functions as protection. In that moment, you have moved from reactive habit into calm authority. True protection is not clenched resistance. It is alignment with higher order. You do not battle shadow, you respond by shining with greater light. In affirming your divine protection, you are not isolating yourself from life. You are establishing that only the frequencies of love, plenty, and peace can enter your field. All other vibrations drift past without effect. Florence often told her students, "Nothing is real to us unless we make it so by our thoughts. Therefore, choose to think and feel only what you desire to crystallize into form. When headlines turn gloomy about the economy, smile within and affirm that may be true for the world, but divine supply is my reality. If another person voices scarcity, offer a silent blessing and quietly repeat, all is provided, all is well. By practicing this, you maintain the integrity of your inner stronghold and keep its walls bright. Let us share a brief entry into stillness, now aligning breath and awareness. Take a comfortable seat, allowing the body to settle, and gently close your eyes. Inhale fully through your nose, then release the breath slowly through your mouth, letting each cycle lengthen. With every round of breathing, feel accumulated tension dissolving and slipping from your muscles. Next picture, a gentle orb of golden light hovering over your crown. Recognize it as divine substance itself, the distilled essence of prosperity in pure form. Watch as the sphere lowers in a tender glide, touching your crown and pouring through your body, saturating your heart with tranquil radiance. As this brightness widens, it becomes a luminous field encircling you completely, your personal golden citadel made visible in feeling. While held in this glow, repeat in a soft, steady voice, I live in divine protection. I move in divine order. My prosperity is surrounded by eternal peace. Envision each doubt thinning and vanishing like fog under a rising sun, leaving the air clear and bright. Picture yourself walking through tomorrow with composed, confidence faces warm, to greet you doors opening at the right moment and your finances shining with consistent growth. Should stray worries appear, visualize laying them beyond the golden perimeter and witnessing them fragment into harmless sparks that fade from sight. Now speak a decree of the very kind Florence herself might have voiced. My prosperity is divinely protected and eternally expanding. I am safe in the law of good. No false belief may enter my mind. I walk in peace. I rest in abundance. I reign in divine order. Allow these sentences to sink deeply into your awareness and rest there steady and alive. After raising your inner citadel, let calm function as your armor. Panic simply signals a brief forgetfulness of principle. When you feel yourself constrict, pause to breathe and remember, all supply comes from the invisible. Florence said, the moment you let go of fear, the law rushes in to fill the vacuum. Your composure is the open doorway through which divine action enters. Safeguarding your prosperity does not mean hiding it. It means maintaining an open, even vibration. A calm state is the portal by which fresh good keeps arriving. Speak in a gentle tone, I am calm. I am provided for. I am protected. Be discerning about conversations, media streams, and places that seed scarcity and fear. Every sentence you receive plants something in you. Take in too much talk of recession or limitation, and you align with it without noticing. Florence advised man should never voice lack or limitation, for by his words, he brings them into form. Choose instead to fill your world with elevating inputs, music that raises you, affirmations that strengthen you, companions who speak life. Let your surroundings mirror your decree. When engagement with negativity is unavoidable, hold to this inner line. Nothing can disturb the peace of my soul. That one sentence transforms any difficult exchange into harmless background sound. As you move through the day, imagine quick flashes of golden light whenever you discuss money or approach financial choices. Each glint serves as a cue that divine intelligence supervises this exchange from start to finish. Before you settle, bills declare, "Every dollar I spend blesses and returns multiplied." Prior to any business meeting, affirm with calm certainty, divine protection surrounds all dealings. Only right outcomes appear. The more consistently you bless with awareness, the denser and brighter your golden field grows. Every growing soul encounters scenes that look like reversals. A surprise expense, a postponement, or a sharp word may spark fear. Recognize, however, that these are not punishments. They are invitations to remember what is true. They pose a question: will you believe the outer world or the divine order behind it? When these kinds of trials appear, pause for a moment, gently shut your eyes, and repeat with calm intention, "This too is under grace. My good cannot be lost." Very quickly, you will sense the circumstance loosening and reconfiguring itself in your favor, adjusting its pattern to support your highest good. Keep in mind that a shadow exists only because a stronger light is shining behind it, indicating that illumination is already present beyond the appearance. If you turn this into a daily discipline, you begin to traverse life as a radiant presence, unaffected by rumors, resilient to fear, and steadily emanating assurance. People around you will experience safety in your company and will be naturally attracted to your composed authority. You transform into a tangible demonstration of spiritual prosperity, material sufficiency, joined with inner peace achievement, accompanied by deep serenity. As Florence would have expressed it, to know the truth and stand still in it is the greatest protection of all. Therefore, remain still, not from stubborn resistance, but from bright, confident certainty that law and order are already acting for you. Final decree: I am a golden citadel of divine prosperity. Fear has no place in me. My wealth is safe in infinite intelligence. My every resource is guided, protected, and expanding under grace. I dwell in peace, and peace multiplies my good. Take one more deliberate breath into that imagined light, letting it fill your chest and settle your nerves. Recognize that you are safeguarded, fully supplied, and inherently whole. Nothing essential is missing from you. Call to action. If you experienced protection and renewal, write the words, "I am a citadel of gold." Allow this statement to affirm that divine order presently shields and administers every treasure that belongs to you. Night functions as creation's consecrated workshop. As the outer world becomes quiet and the conscious mind relaxes its control, the deeper mind opens wide. Florence Scovel Shinn referred to this realm as the Garden of God, within a place where each thought planted before sleep takes root and later bears fruit during the day. To direct prosperity, you must cultivate this inner garden, nightly pulling the weeds of fear and sowing seeds of abundance. The thoughts and feelings you hold in the final minutes before rest become the blueprint your subconscious transports into the unseen. Within that realm, divine substance molds itself in harmony with your design. Picture your mind as an expansive field. Each belief, recollection, and feeling is a seed sprouting within that soil. In daylight, Thoughts disperse in every direction. Some are weeds, and others are blossoms. Yet when evening falls, the gardener reappears. That gardener is your conscious will readying the ground for tomorrow's harvest. If you drift into sleep anxious and rehearsing scarcity, you are replanting those same weeds. If you enter sleep with faith and gratitude, you rise into a more abundant field. Florence taught man's subconscious mind is impressed by suggestion. It receives and acts upon whatever man feels to be true. Therefore, prior to sleep, offer your subconscious a noble, lovely, and prosperous theme for its work. It will labor faithfully while you rest, assembling right conditions that correspond to your decree. Establish a tranquil sanctuary before retiring. Lower the lights. If you can light a candle, its flame represents the everlasting spark of divine life. Settle into a comfortable seat. Take 3 deep, measured breaths and let the day's noise dissolve. Next, pick up a pen and compose your decree on paper. Ensure that it is specific, serene, and framed in affirmative language I call $10,000 to me, easily and joyfully under grace before date. Or simply write, my wealth increases overnight through divine channels. Experience the words as living forms, not just sentences, but spiritual seeds. Read them with deliberation until your body settles and you relax into genuine belief. Then close your eyes again. Rest your hand upon your heart. Whisper with sincerity, I am grateful for the divine abundance now unfolding. All my affairs prosper as I sleep. Envision yourself resting in a meadow of gentle, golden light. The radiance drifts through your mind, dissolving worry, easing tightness, and restoring a deep sense of harmony. The candlelight flickers and widens. A feeling of safety and peace surrounds you, and you sense provision as already accomplished. Draw in a slow breath while thinking I receive. Breathe out softly with the thought I release. Every inhalation draws fresh supply from the infinite, while every exhalation lets go of fear and dissolves inner resistance. Repeat this cycle 3 times, allowing the cadence to soothe you into abiding calm. Allow a gentle smile to appear. Then say inwardly, divine substance works for me while I rest. My prosperity grows in perfect silence. As you approach sleep, picture your decree rising into a boundless golden sky taken up by infinite intelligence. You do not pursue it. You place trust in it. Just as a gardener does not unearth seeds to inspect them, but waters and waits so you rest. Florence often said, the subconscious mind takes man at his word. In the night hours, your spoken and silent words are especially unguarded and potent. Therefore, employ them with care, intention, and wisdom. If you find yourself waking in the middle of the night, lean in and softly say, I am safe in abundance. All is well. Doing so sustains an elevated vibration that carries you back through sleep, keeping your energy harmonized even within your dreams. Many of Florence's students would tuck prosperity notes under their pillows, handwritten decrees folded like quiet covenants. Because the subconscious responds to symbols as much as words, that small slip of paper serves as tangible evidence of your agreement with divine supply, a sign your deeper mind cannot ignore. Contemporary research concurs that during theta and delta brain states the mind is unusually receptive. Anxiety impressed at these hours sinks in deeply, whereas gratitude sown then germinates as miraculous outcomes. In this way, sleep turns into a creative workshop. You rise magnetized to good fresh ideas, unfold, assistance arrives, resources move, and these results are simply the seeds you planted overnight coming to life. If you choose to work with a candle, snuff it out with deliberation and affirm. My intention rises into divine substance and returns fulfilled. That closing line seals your decree as complete. Afterwards, allow quiet to gather around you and slip into restful stillness. At first light, before you speak to anyone or touch a phone, whisper. Each morning, I reset my reality. Money hears my first words. With this, you link night to day, joining subconscious depth with waking awareness, and your life begins to move in unified, effortless flow. In short order, old worries dissipate, your intuition grows precise, and abundance begins to feel natural and unforced. At that point, you have taken your place as a wise gardener of consciousness, tending what grows within with skill and care. Select a single affirmation to focus on each week and repeat it before bed every night. And week 1, I am supplied from the invisible in perfect ways. And week 2, every night new wealth is born through me. And week 3, divine ideas prosper me as I sleep. And week 4, my dreams are filled with symbols of success. And this steady cadence builds depth. A month of focused repetition imprints truth more strongly than scattered phrases. It is constancy, not verbosity, that transforms old patterns. A single decree spoken with genuine conviction and repeated faithfully has the strength to pull up years of scarcity by the roots. In time, discipline ripens into second nature. You go to bed, sensing the universe itself tucking you in your dreams, become calm havens, and your subconscious opens like a garden full of trust. Florence said, "Man can only receive what he sees himself receiving." When you drift into sleep, picturing yourself abundant and tranquil the next day, faithfully arranges itself to mirror that inner picture. Before you surrender to sleep, speak in a soft, reverent tone. The divine substance within me never sleeps. In it builds my good in perfect silence. In I release worry and receive peace. In my mind is a garden of gold replanted tonight with faith. In and by morning, new blessings bloom. Let these lines hold you like a gentle cradle. Faith is the mark of mastery. Florence taught, never voice failure or lack, for by your words you are condemned. Real faith keeps the memory of supply alive even when outward forms seem to fade. Every earnest seeker encounters a season that resembles collapse funds, depleted opportunities shuttered, and silence pressing in. The surface mind protests. It's not working. Yet spiritual law does not fail. It simply reorganizes conditions for a higher alignment. A woman faced with a family emergency saw her entire savings vanish. Even as tears fell, she affirmed, "Divine supply never fails. What is mine cannot be lost." A few weeks afterward, a former client reappeared and provided twice the sum she had expended. The lapse was not punishment, but design repositioning her for a larger good. Florence wrote, "When man asks, believing he has received his good rushes toward him." Thus, apparent delay is not refusal. It is perfection adjusting details so the answer can arrive in right form. When outer life seems motionless, the universe is lining up unseen particulars. It is like a theater. When the curtain drops, it is not the end, but the quiet interlude required to prepare the next act. During these intervals, declare divine timing governs all my affairs. My good is on schedule under grace. Remember that true faith relaxes instead of straining, and that peaceful trust speeds manifestation far more than worry ever could. One man was laid off after months of declaring, "I am divinely compensated." Though friends ridiculed his confidence, he continued to affirm, "I am divinely employed in perfect ways." He tithed from what he had showed up each day, prepared, and thanked the unseen for provision. Before long, a former colleague extended a superior position. It was his faith that had been placed in the fire, and it emerged stronger and purer. Existence itself seemed to pose the question, will you remain steady when outer appearances fall apart? He chose steadiness, and abundance responded accordingly and unmistakably. Faith has the alchemical power to transmute fear. It converts waiting into intentional preparation and reshapes seeming chaos into precise choreography. Whenever life quivers, answer with, "Though appearances falter, divine supply is sure." Such composure is not passivity, it is quiet command. To stand on the law is to refuse to pull back your word. After issuing a decree, do not undermine it through grumbling or contradiction. As Florence taught, man must stand still and see the salvation of the Lord. Stillness gives law the room to work. Agitation interferes with its operation. Should fear swell, place a hand upon your heart and affirm peace. The divine plan unfolds now. You will feel a gentle light move through you, returning your faith to steadiness. Faith moves like a rhythm. Breathe in assurance and breathe out doubt. Declare, infinite intelligence cannot fail. My supply cannot be lost. I rest in divine order. Keep to this cadence until serenity ceases to be a practice and becomes the natural climate of your whole being. Soon enough, external conditions begin to mirror your inward state. Situations that formerly appeared as loss disclose their hidden order, and what looked obstructed loosens into effortless movement and steady flow. Each trial hides a disclosure. You, not circumstance, are the originating source. Money and openings are merely conduits, never the spring itself. When external forms fall away, your authorship returns to awareness. You summon supply into expression through your spoken decree and unwavering trust. As Florence taught, the supply is always there, waiting for man to speak the word. The crucible of testing verifies what you truly know. Do you issue your word from quiet assurance or from anxious alarm? Then arrival turns to triumph the instant your inward certainty grows heavier than what your eyes report. You cease to beg and begin to proclaim. The invisible condenses into form. Thresholds swing open. Snarled issues unspool themselves with precision. Speak now with measured confidence. I stand firm in divine provision. My faith is stronger than appearance. My supply is secure. Some may misread your composure as avoidance. Offer a smile, bless them inwardly, and remain serene. Outcomes will testify on your behalf. Florence affirmed, man's word is his wand. A master moves that wand without spectacle, and reality complies. As faith ripens, apparent reversals become nourishment for expansion. You bless what formerly provoked fear. A shut door translates into instruction, and a loss reveals itself as recalibration. Joyfully, you find yourself declaring, "Even this serves my good." All that you have decreed exists already in subtle substance. Time functions as the bridge by which it becomes visible. Cross that span with gratitude as your song. I never waver. Divine substance fulfills my word in perfect sequence. Sense assurance rising like a tide within. The symphony of faith swells toward its crest. The unseen curtain draws back. Your good appears before you, luminous, whole, and fully realized. I stand firm in divine provision. Again, what is mine cannot be lost. Again, delay is not denial. It is divine design. Again, my faith is steady, my heart serene. Gin infinite intelligence fulfills my decree in perfect order. Kiene never waver, and therefore I never want. Continue breathing slowly until these statements feel inscribed upon your inner being, as if etched in enduring light within the heart. The proving of faith constitutes the last threshold before freedom. Cross it, and you assume mastery in manifestation. From such stillness, law advances on your behalf, rapidly, joyfully, and with an irresistible certainty of outcome. If you have kept your faith steady amid trials, declare without hesitation, I never waver. Your constancy becomes a beacon to others, demonstrating yet again that divine provision does not fail the heart that believes and stays the course. Prior to the world stirring before the day's machinery begins to hum, there lies a consecrated hush. This is Sunday dawn, the hour of golden commencements. The sun, still wrapped in mist, extends her first rays as gentle murmurs across the land. In that interval, you arise the sacred practitioner guardian of holy decree, the one who recalls the law of prosperity not as mere theory, but as a breathing covenant. This day marks your renewal. The opening breath of the week belongs to you and bends to the form you give it. The rite commences in deep quiet and deliberate stillness. Choose a sanctified spot, a corner washed with gentle light, or a seat beside a window that welcomes the rising sun. Set before you a mirror, a gold-colored candle, a clean sheet of paper, and a pen that flows easily. Let these items become your altar, unadorned, clear, and tuned to your intention. As you take your place, notice the air, fresh, nearly crystalline in clarity. The fragrance of dawn's dew mingles with a soft trace of wax and the suggestion of possibility. You stand ready to summon the golden stream, the ever-present river of divine supply that courses through all living things, awaiting only your recognition to begin visible motion. Gently close your eyes, now inviting inner attention and quiet focus. Draw a long, steady breath, allowing the body to settle and the mind to clear. Then, in the silent seam between inhalation and exhalation, offer this whisper to your own soul. This day, I align with the current of infinite prosperity, and I remember who I am, a channel of golden good, an instrument of divine supply, a radiant vessel of eternal abundance. Now open your eyes and turn toward the mirror with attentive reverence. Look upon your reflection not with critique, but with veneration. Understand that the eyes returning your gaze are not merely human. They are the divine looking through you. The image before you is not only your face, it is your divinity made visible. Ignite the golden candle and allow its presence to consecrate the moment. Observe the flame's living movement as if it breathes in rhythm with you. Every tremor of light becomes a silent prayer transformation unfolding in real time. Fire, archetype of purification, devours limitation and releases it as radiant power. It stands as the emblem of divine alchemy, fear translated into faith, doubt into clear knowing, scarcity into overflowing good. Now take pen in hand and compose your decree of the week with deliberate clarity. Allow the wording to rise not from analysis, but from higher knowing. Remember, a decree is not a hope. It is a directive language carrying divine authority. State it in present tense, since in the invisible, it is already accomplished and true. Examples: I live in the ceaseless flow of divine supply. All that I require appears in divine order, with grace and ease. The golden stream moves through every area of my life, work, health, love, and joy, blessing all it touches. I am prosperity itself, radiant calm, and endlessly replenished. As lines take shape on the page, register their potency. The ink bears intention. The characters themselves seem to hum with vitality. Each syllable acts as a key that opens unseen thresholds. You are inscribing not only paper, but the very fabric of the universe in miniature. Pause here, let the energy settle, and gather around your words. Read the decree aloud 3 times, unhurried and reverent, as though the air itself listens and preserves it. Speak with complete conviction because your word operates as law in your world. I speak the word, and it is established unto me. And I decree divine prosperity now, and the universe rushes to fulfill my command. And I give thanks that it is done perfectly, completely, and joyously. Now undertake the sacred gesture of release. Lift the written decree above the candle's flame. Notice the edge bending, shifting from white to honeyed amber, and then to ash. As it burns, murmur softly, I release this word into divine action. Knit is no longer mine, it belongs to the infinite. Watch the smoke spiral upward. It bears your decree into the invisible, those subtle ethers from which visible form emerges. Sense the holy exchange occurring. What was inscribed transmutes into energy, and what was voiced condenses toward reality. In this, you are the alchemist who turns word into manifestation. When the paper has burned to completion, close your eyes again. Rest a hand over your heart and sense its constant rhythm, the universe's pulse within you. Imagine golden radiance pouring from the candle into your heart, saturating each cell, every recollection, every inner space. Now watch this golden current flowing outward through your dwelling, your connections, your money affairs, and your creative work, leaving harmony, abundance, and joy wherever it moves. Remain in this space a little longer, letting the feeling deepen and stabilize. Inhale the golden brightness steadily into the chest and mind. Exhale a wave of gratitude, allowing appreciation to spread through your field. When you feel complete, speak gently and clearly, I am one with the golden stream of prosperity. Then I live, move, and breathe in divine supply. Then my world reflects my consciousness of abundance. Then all is well, all is perfect, all is provided. Sit quietly in the hush that follows. Allow the phrases to descend like morning dew, soaking gently into the soil of your soul. You may choose to end with a tender sound, a bell's chime, one sustained musical note, or merely the soft hush of your own breathing. This simple act signifies the sealing and completion of your decree. Now stand and move forward. Enter your day as the living expression of your spoken word. Notice the almost imperceptible change, a new texture in reality, a sense that circumstances are aligning in your favor. The rite has concluded, yet its resonance carries on, unfurling through the week like opening petals of light. Each Sunday, you will come back to this consecrated hour, not to mindlessly repeat, but to refresh and renew. Prosperity is not a final stop. It is a cadence, an ongoing dialogue between your consciousness and the infinite. As you rise from your consecrated place, the morning has fully come alive. The golden light you invoked now spans the sky, reflecting the luminosity you feel within. You smile with understanding. What is within is faithfully mirrored without. Devote yourself to this Sunday practice for 90 consecutive days. With each passing week, your frequency will lift, your demonstrations will accelerate, and your confidence in divine order will grow more profound. Speak your pledge aloud. Now I begin my golden 90. Pronounce it audibly and record it in your journal or in a public comment as a testimony of commitment. The universe receives such clarity, and the gates of supply open wide. Morning light streams through the curtains, golden, vibrant, and mild, settling upon your face. The world awakens, the low murmur of life resumes, and you alert and mindful recall your sacred promise. You are not simply pursuing prosperity. You are the living conduit through which prosperity circulates. Today is not for chasing. It is for issuing calm command. The daily prosperity decree is not rote recitation. It is an exercise in remembering a deliberate return again and again to the frequency of divine provision. Each morning prior to entering the day's pace, you pause for intentional alignment. Stand upright before the mirror again, your reflected image lit by the pale, early gleam of daybreak. Take 3 long, steady breaths. Regard the air as holy respiration, the same divine breath that animated the word at the beginning of all things. The breath that uttered, "Let there be," and there was. Now touch your throat lightly, the portal of expression and the center through which speech gives rise to creation. Murmur with intention. Through this voice, divine substance takes form. My words are commands of light. I speak, and the infinite obeys. This is your consecrated hour of decree, brief in duration, yet radiant in power. You may adopt a weekly decree drawn from your Sunday ceremony or voice a statement freshly rising from your present desire. Each word should be delivered with authority, thankfulness, and composure, for you are not requesting. You are affirming what already exists in the invisible. Keep your voice even and composed, allowing it to carry the resonant frequency of truth. Speak it out now with complete confidence. I am supplied in all ways and at all times. I command divine order to unfold in every area of my life. I receive with gratitude and I give with joy. I am the living abundance of God in perfect expression. Pause here. Sense the decree humming through your entire body. Let the vibrations settle in your bones, flow with your breath, and synchronize with your pulse. The decree is not apart from you. It is your very being voiced into sound. Now take another deep breath and recite this 3-fold line with rhythm, allowing it to become your internal cadence for the day. I command. I receive. I give thanks. Once more repeat, I command. I receive. I give thanks. And one final repetition, I command. I receive. I give thanks. Allow this 3-fold rhythm to set your pace as you proceed into the tasks and meetings of your day. Imagine yourself moving through the morning brewing coffee, replying to messages, or stepping into sunlight while the gentle, glowing mantra continues within. It becomes a private soundtrack. You move with understated assurance, your energy calm yet undeniably strong. Now consider this illustration a story meant to fix the principle firmly in memory. A woman approached me exhausted by constant struggle. Her professional flow had diminished. Her obligations seemed to shout louder than her faith. She kept the Sunday ritual with devotion, but her weekdays were still saturated with anxiety. One morning, she chose to inhabit the decree rather than merely recite it. She opened her day with the following affirmation: I command divine supply now. I receive with joy. I give thanks that it is done. She sustained that rhythm through every action. Opening her laptop, she quietly said, I command divine opportunities. While paying a bill, she affirmed, I give thanks for the flow of supply. Entering her office, she silently declared, I am the prosperous presence here. By midday, her inner climate had changed from strain to luminous calm. That same evening, an overlooked client contacted her requesting new work paying in advance and proposing a continuing partnership. She laughed even as tears formed and recorded in her journal. It came the moment I stopped asking and began declaring. A decree is not primarily repetition, it is embodiment. Each time you speak a word of authority, you stabilize yourself in divine awareness. You signal the invisible to crystallize and come forward as visible form. Let us now take the work further and strengthen the practice at a more intentional moment-to-moment level. Across the span of your day, circle back to your decree whenever a natural pause appears prior to a meeting, before you press send, or just as you cross a new threshold. Allow your very presence to embody the decree so fully that you become its living articulation. When confusion presents itself, answer with this concise directive: divine order is now established. When an image of lack appears, meet it with the following identity statement: I am the source of all supply. When delay seems to arise, address it with this law-aligned truth: in divine mind, there is no delay. All unfolds now in perfect time. And when the good arrives, as it inevitably will, pause, briefly breathe, and seal the moment with gratitude by affirming, I give thanks for this evidence of my decree fulfilled. This threefold cadence command, receive, then give thanks, consecrates an ordinary schedule into a functioning temple. You traverse your hours as if moving through sanctuaries, with each action becoming a kind of prayer, and each breath sounding like a note in the larger symphony of divine order. Picture that as the sun travels overhead, a gentle golden field forms around you, perhaps invisible to the eye, yet quietly sensed by everyone you meet. It carries the tone of peace, assurance, and prosperity. People feel it. Doors open, hearts relaxed, directions line up. This shift happens not from pursuit, but because your very presence broadcasts sufficiency. And when challenges appear, as they will, functioning as invitations rather than penalties, you do not descend into fear. You pause, lay a hand over your heart, and state with composed conviction, this too is the unfoldment of my good. Divine intelligence moves through the situation now. I remain unmoved, for I am one with the source. This is what mastery looks like: to remain composed in an apparent storm, fully aware that the spiritual law continues to operate without failure. Evening comes. The day relaxes its edges, and the sky shades into rose and violet. Before sleep, take a final moment to revisit your decree. Voice again your threefold cadence: I command, I receive, I give thanks. Close your eyes. Allow the cadence of those words to move you into gratitude. Recall each note of grace from the day: a kind remark, an unexpected smile, a modest success, or a quiet pocket of peace, all of it serving as evidence that divine order is operating precisely. For one who practices the word, nothing is minor. There are no trivial blessings. Each moment acts as a vital thread in the grand weave of design. Tomorrow you will rise once more, and the decree will rise alongside you, not as a burdensome task, but as a living pulse of divine remembrance beating within. As Florence Scovel Shinn said, your word is your wand. Every decree you utter functions like a radiant wand of light, coaxing matter into alignment with divine pattern. Therefore, live the word you speak. Walk your decree through actions. Allow your language to serve as law, and your thinking to operate as blessing. Pause in this moment and affirm clearly, I am prosperity in expression. I am the word made manifest. I speak, and my world obeys. I live the word. Yes, this is your testimony. Record it, voice it, and proclaim it aloud with confidence. I live the word. And so it is. Friday approaches with a subdued vibration of completion. the gentle closing chord of a consecrated week. The days have opened like the petals of a golden blossom, each one a proof of divine provision and a witness to your expanding mastery. As the sun leans toward evening and the air gathers a scent of rest, you ready yourself for the sacred practice of gratitude, the final sealing act of manifestation. This is the day of the Friday testimony, the appointed moment to stop, reflect, and express thanks for both seen and unseen blessings that have flowed into your life. In this context, gratitude is not mere courtesy. It is precise spiritual technology, the highest frequency of acknowledgement. It is the sacred thank you that multiplies everything it touches. Take up your consecrated journal, the one that holds your Sunday decrees, and turn to a clean page. Light a white or golden candle to signify clarity and illumination. Let the flame remind you that every fulfilled desire, every met need, and every realized dream originates in the invisible, and gratitude is the power that brings invisibles into view. Breathe in fully, letting the mind soften and the body loosen its hold. Sense the week assembling in your awareness each day, a musical note, and each experience a distinct tone. You are preparing to compose and sing your hymn of thanksgiving. Now inscribe this title at the top of the page with intention: my testimony of overflow. Pause and register the weight of those words. Overflow means more than enough. It means sacred surplus, the cup that runs over the boundless ocean of good that refuses containment. Close your eyes and invite your memory to gather the week's graces. Maybe it was an unanticipated message, a fresh opening, a gentle kindness relief from concern, or simply the profound calm of knowing you are sustained by divine order. Let each moment lift before your inner sight, glowing as if rimmed in gold. For every blessing recalled, say the following softly, but with sincere reverence: I see the hand of God here. I give thanks that the law of good is working perfectly in my life. I am a vessel of overflow, and all I touch increases. As you compose your testimony, allow gratitude to spread through you like a warm, steady current. You are doing more than cataloging favors. You are identifying concrete evidence of divine order at work. Gratitude concentrates energy, it anchors miracles in place and prompts them to multiply. Consider a brief account that illustrates this sacred principle in practice. A man diligently observed the Sunday ritual and affirmed his daily decree. Yet each Friday, he finished the week by writing a simple gratitude inventory. I am thankful for this day. I am thankful for the breath in my body. I am thankful for the unseen good now taking form. On one such Friday, while reviewing his week, he noticed 3 separate unanticipated streams of income: a forgotten refund, a new client via an old acquaintance, and a gift from a friend that matched precisely what he had planned to purchase. Laughing, he said aloud, "It came through channels I never expected." What he did not recognize initially was that those channels opened because gratitude had rendered him receptive. Gratitude counters resistance. It signals to the universe, I am ready. I am open. I recognize the flow. And that recognition itself functions as a creative act. It is creation set into motion. Turn attention now to your own heart. Feel the potency carried by each grateful statement you voice. Gratitude transforms mere noticing into concrete manifestation. The more you give thanks, the more clearly you perceive. And the more you perceive, the greater becomes the field for gratitude, a divine spiral of continuously expanding good. Allow your pen to move and compose this week's testimony, not only recording events, but also the feelings that accompanied them. Did relief pour over you? Did joy arrive like first light? Did a tranquil peace settle upon your mind? Such emotions mark alignment and confirm that the law is actively expressing through you. When the writing feels whole, rest your hand on the page and declare the following decree. All that has come to me this week is divine and right. I give thanks for the seen and the unseen good now unfolding. This gratitude seals my manifestations in perfect order. I am a vessel of overflow and abundance flows without end. Now inhale deeply and close your eyes again. Visualize yourself beneath a delicate cascade of golden light. Sense it streaming over you, cool, radiant, and inexhaustible. This light is gratitude given form. It moves through your crown, along your shoulders, down your arms, and into your hands. From this moment onward, everything you handle bears that same luminosity, charged with the resonant frequency of thanksgiving. You are the living current of prosperity itself. You function as both giver and receiver, extending gratitude outward and welcoming multiplied blessings in return. This is reciprocity's law, the timeless rhythm of divine exchange in motion. Take a gentle moment to smile. Allow joy to lift within the chest. Joy is gratitude's music, the melody of heaven sounding through your being. You are no longer waiting for evidence. You have become the evidence. You are the demonstration embodied. Now close your journal with care and in a soft voice whisper to yourself, letting intention settle as you do. This week is complete in divine perfection. I release it with gratitude. I welcome the next with faith. Allow the candle to continue for a few more breaths, its flame flickering like the pulse of your own spirit. You might notice warmth spreading, a gentle tingling, or an uplifting lightness. This felt resonance is gratitude at work, sealing your demonstrations, fastening them securely into the woven fabric of your loved reality. Before you complete the practice, offer this concluding declaration aloud with calm conviction. I am a vessel of overflow. I am grateful beyond measure. All channels are open, all supply flows freely. Overflow is my nature. Speak it once more, this time with greater strength and emphasis so its power lands fully. Overflow is my nature. And repeat it a third time, letting joy well up from deep within as you affirm it. Overflow is my nature. Yes, allow the phrase to reverberate in your chest. Let it imprint as your signature frequency while you enter a season of rest, replenishment, and conscious renewal. Friday has performed its sacred task. You have borne witness to the goodness of divine order, and the law has received your testimony. As evening unfolds, the environment takes on a new tone, softer, kinder, more in tune. Since you recognize the good that very good now recognizes and responds to you. Week by week, this practice lays fresh groundwork, layering gratitude upon gratitude and testimony upon testimony until prosperity shifts from a single outcome into a surrounding climate. You cease to manifest as a separate act. Instead, you embody. You stop hunting for evidence. You become the living evidence yourself. Therefore, conclude the rite with this last affirmation that seals completion with clarity. All that I give thanks for expands. My gratitude seals my abundance. My testimony is my power. Overflow is my nature now and always. And so it is. Now speak your commitment out loud or write it in your journal. Perhaps even share it publicly as a declaration of your growing spiritual mastery. Overflow is my nature. 90 days, a compact span of time, yet vast enough to reshape your inner world and outer results when lived with devotion. One season of life, yet also a sacred eternity in miniature, condensed into daily choices and steady awareness. Over these 90 days, you have spoken, inscribed, decreed, and actively lived as an expression of divine prosperity. Each week, you summoned the golden stream at first light, upheld your daily decree with trust, and sealed each cycle in gratitude. Now, standing at the doorway of completion, even the air seems changed clearer, more luminous and vibrant with the rhythm of fulfillment. This is the 90-day transformation, a consecrated passage from hunting for prosperity to existing as prosperity. You have done more than apply principle. You have become principle in motion and expression. Gently close your eyes and take a deep breath. Notice your body recalling the cadences of your rituals. The Sunday dawn, the morning decree, the Friday testimony, each is now stitched into your heartbeat. What started as deliberate practice has matured into identity. What started as spoken phrases has crystallized as the reality you inhabit. Envision a great golden cocoon before you, shining warm and softly, throbbing with power. Inside lies the earlier self, the one who used to hope, hesitate, reach, and wait. That self served faithfully and preserved your lessons. But now a movement begins. The cocoon shimmers its golden filaments, dissolving into pure light. From within, you rise, wings gleaming with the essence of fresh creation. You are abundance in flight, no longer limited by the chrysalis of mere belief. You are prosperity itself, alive, present, and luminous. This is the fruit of 90 days, not only alteration, but revelation, the unveiling of what was always true beneath habit and fear. You were never intended to chase or acquire abundance. You were called to remember that abundance is your inherent nature and enduring identity. Let us reflect together on the specific ways this journey has reconfigured your inner stance and outward life. The first 30 days, the awakening of faith and the soft breaking of old patterns. During month 1, you tilled the inner soil. Doubts, fears, and limiting narratives rose where you could see them. You faced the quiet whispers, "I am insufficient. This is too difficult. Only struggle creates good." Yet, with every Sunday candle and freshly written decree, hardness eased. Your word started to contour your world. Subtle indicators arrived: a refund, a kind remark, a sudden pocket of peace showing the law already moving for you. Faith, which had seemed conceptual, took on texture and weight. You sensed it in the rise and fall of your breath, in the tone of your speech, and in the quiet between actions. The law of demonstration, timeless, precise, and even-handed, started responding in clear and noticeable ways. You discovered that prosperity answers not to strain, but to inner certainty. You widened your trust in the unseen. You spoke, "It is done," and felt completion's joy beforehand, welcoming outcomes before they had a chance to show themselves. The second 30 days, the expansion of flow and the art of generous circulation. Entering month 2, practice matured into cadence. Your daily decree shifted from task to heartbeat. You navigated each day as a channel for movement. Petitioning ceased and clear direction took its place, issued with serene authority. Your world mirrored this interior music. Dialogues unfolded, resources arrived, and opportunities clicked into alignment. You reframed prosperity as motion rather than hoarding. You recognized that gripping creates a dam, whereas generous release broadens the channel. So you gave through language, through kindness, through the gift of attentive presence. In that generosity, you met the paradox of divine law. Releasing widened the flow, and reception increased accordingly. Gratitude matured into full-bodied joy. Thankfulness ceased to be rote and became instinctive, as natural as breath. Every Friday's testimony gathered into a symphony of evidence that the universe was arranging circumstances in your favor. Consequently, the current intensified, and your experience of effortless circulation expanded day by day. The final 30 days, the birth of embodiment. The moment practice turns into identity. In the last month, a quiet miracle unfolded. The self that practiced transformed into the self that simply is. Law ceased to be external doctrine and revealed itself as the living current moving as you. Trying, waiting, and questioning your worth all fell away. You became the word embodied, the divine articulated as form. Then one morning, you noticed the golden light you used to picture was now shining from within. No longer a mental image, it had become your baseline state. You sensed the prosperity current vibrating in your cells, shaping your thoughts and softening your gaze. You spoke into situations and saw them reconfigure. You affirmed order where there was disorder and watched harmony bloom. You blessed former burdens and observed them uplift into blessings in real time. This is embodiment, the sacred hinge where spirituality turns practical and the unseen makes itself seen by moving through your choices, your words, and your way of being. Now anchor the transformation with a sanctified affirmation, unhurried, grounded, and brimming with truth. Voice it line by line, sensing its resonance ripple through mind, body, and spirit as one. I am prosperity in form. I am abundance embodied. The stream of divine supply flows through me without end. I give generously and I receive joyfully. I am peace, I am power, I am provision in perfect motion. I am prosperity in motion. Pause to register their meaning as it lands. These are no longer just declarations. They mirror who you are. You have grown into the very reality you used to affirm from a distance. Now survey the full 90-day path. Consider the arc from intention to realized form. How much stronger is your confidence in your creative authority? How much more ease moves through your schedule? Observe how your speech has evolved, how your thinking has gentled, how your energy has risen. Acknowledge the proof: synchronicities, precise timing, unanticipated provision. These aren't accidents, they are clear confirmations. And still, this is not a finish line, it is a beginning. The 90 days were never solely about one achievement. They were about installing a lifelong frequency of divine prosperity. You have shaped a consciousness that can't be removed. Prosperity is no longer a target you chase. It has become the air you breathe. As Florence Scovel Shinn reminded her students with crystalline clarity, nothing stands between man and his highest good but his own doubt or fear. When these are gone, all doors fly open. And now, in the light of that understanding, every door stands open to you, unlatched, welcoming, and ready for your step. Let us complete this transformation at the level of awareness. Take a comfortable seat. Rest both hands over your heart. Close your eyes and picture the golden cocoon again, only now it has dissolved entirely into pure light. Watch that light streaming outward in concentric waves, blessing your dwelling, your connections, your money, your vitality, your creative work, indeed, the whole of your world. Repeat these lines after me, not as a plea or wish, but as the steady voice of certainty and recognition. I am prosperity in motion. Everywhere I go, blessings flow. Every word I speak multiplies good. Every act I take opens new channels of supply. I am the embodiment of divine order and abundance. I am prosperity itself. Draw a deep breath. Sense the golden radiance widening with each inhalation. With every inhale, let abundance stream in. With every exhale, allow peace to shine outward. The passage has been crossed. You now inhabit the consciousness of sufficiency, the sacred recognition that lack cannot exist in divine mind, and thus cannot truly exist in you. This moment marks your rebirth into endless circulation, the renewal of life lived in unbroken, generous flow. From here on, move as prosperity itself would move, calm, open-handed, and radiant. Let your speech bear quiet authority. Let your actions reverberate with grace. When you give, do so with the assurance of one whose well is inexhaustible. When you receive, accept with humble awareness that each gift is the divine in motion toward you. You may continue lighting your golden candle at dawn and crafting your testimony each Friday. Only now, these are not merely practices, they are celebrations. You have remembered your essence and honor it with joyful ritual. You are prosperity made visible in living, breathing form that others can feel and witness. You are the spoken decree, given life, the word that walks, decides, and blesses with every step. You are the golden current itself, streaming through time and space, infusing every exchange of love, value, and energy with increase. You are the everlasting abundance of the divine, fully awake, deeply aware, and vividly active in the world you touch. Now take a final, deliberate breath. Whisper the following affirmation 3 times, allowing each repetition to widen your luminous field and strengthen your certainty. I am prosperity in motion. I am prosperity in motion. I am prosperity in motion. Sense the words dissolving into a quiet that still vibrates with power. Linger in that stillness, briefly resting within the frequency of completion and fulfillment. When you open your eyes again, you may notice the world subtly transformed, more vivid, more responsive, more luminous, because you are perceiving it through the lens of your own abundant state. The 90 days have drawn their holy circle to a close. You are no longer the former version of yourself. You are the true self you have always been, now remembered and embodied. Announce your completion with a clear, steady voice. I am prosperity in motion. And if you feel led, share this declaration outward as witness, as pledge, as initiation. Write it, speak it, and release it into the unseen so that any who hear may remember their own creative power. Subscribe to continue along the golden path, the way of continual expansion, easy creation, and steady remembrance of the divine at work in you. For this journey has no endpoint. It deepens, widens, and brightens with every faithful step you take. And you, dear one, remain always the guiding light, shining the path ahead by the radiance of your remembered abundance. And so it is sealed, established, and set in perfect order.